Well, hello everyone. Loving light to each and every one of you. Yes, I am back finally. Thank you all for supporting me through that and supporting the channel. I missed you all so much, and I sincerely, first of all, would like to apologise for not being able to upload any videos or anything. But it's great to be back. I missed you all. It was hard not being able to get up here and do videos and chat. I'm looking forward to doing the live and catching up with each of you beautiful, loving, caring people. Thank you once again to you all. It meant the world to me, having your support and helping me through that hard time. So thank you. I sincerely mean that. Thank you all so much. So, first of all, I just want to give a trigger warning for this one. I'm covering this case for reasons I will explain at the end. It is a rather sad case and does involve a baby. So I'd like you all to be aware of that. If you feel this is going to upset you, by all means, stop watching it. Just leave it. I don't want to cause anybody any hard emotion or upset you or trigger anything. So please be warned, this is an upsetting case. So let's get into this one. This beautiful baby, who I will put his photo up for you. This gorgeous little soul here. His name is Ronan. Ronan Davies, actually. And he was just 17 months old. He was entrusted in the care of a close friend to his parents. This close friend was babysitting him. On Wednesday, June the 7th, this close friend who was babysitting him returned him to his parents. At first they thought the baby was asleep, but when Dad couldn't wake him up or rouse him, they called an ambulance. This beautiful little boy was rushed to hospital and was put in intensive care, where he passed away, sadly and tragically, at the Adelaide Women's and Children's Hospital in South Australia, here in Australia. They then found out that their beautiful boy had suffered unsurvivable injuries. He had head injuries, serious head injuries, and internal injuries. And yet the child was returned to them, like I said, and they were led to believe their beautiful baby boy was just asleep. The parents, although going through this, donated organs. So there were 3 recipients that got his organs. Through all this sad emotion and the loss of their child, they still thought of other children. I could not imagine going through that. I wouldn't like to imagine going through that. My heart goes out to the parents. God bless them. I am sincerely sorry you are going through this. And may your son rest in peace. But I hope you can find your way through this darkness at this time. and somehow find beauty in the world again. So let's get into what happened. I will now read you this. A murder investigation has been launched after a 17-month-old baby boy died 2 days after being rushed to hospital. Ronan Davies was found unconscious with serious head and internal injuries and rushed to the Adelaide Women's and Children's Hospital. He was in intensive care before he tragically passed over. South Australia Police said he sustained unsurvivable injuries while he was being cared for by a friend of the parents. Detective Inspector Mark McEachran said the youngster's injuries were the result of an assault on a 17-month-old child. A murder investigation has launched into the toddler's passing. In the 2 days before Ronan was taken to the hospital, he was being cared for by friends who are known to his parents at an address in Ferguson Street, Glenelg North, in South Australia. When he was returned to his father's house at Ottawa at 4 p.m. on Wednesday, that's Wednesday, June the 7th, he was unable to be roused, and an ambulance was called. Ronan's dad shared how he and his fiancée had been unable to sleep since their beloved son and only child was ripped away from them. The youngster's grandma, who is based in Vietnam, has also shared an emotional tribute to the young infant. Grandma's angel rests in peace, even though the time you stayed with your family was not long. Everyone loved you so much, she told the Advertiser, which is the paper I'm reading it from. You were cute, well-behaved, innocent, and very handsome. And that's the sad part. This 17-month-old baby was innocent. He couldn't defend himself against a grown person assaulting him. Unfortunately, and I have something to say to that grown person too, by the way, but behold, this babysitter did speak up. But we will get into that soon. The little one's organs had been donated to save the lives of 3 other children who were near death. So Rose's departure is meaningful. Like I said, how absolutely beautiful and remarkable are these parents to do that. Your shadow and life still exists in the body of 3 lucky little ones. You have created happiness for their families, she said. She ended the tribute saying she would miss him and love him forever. The investigation is focused on the events that took place at the home of the family friends in the hours before little Ronan was returned to his own home. We have been provided with an explanation as to how Ronan's injuries were caused. We're not satisfied as to the truthfulness of that information, and that it's certainly subject to our murder investigation now. No, I wouldn't believe it either, but I will let you know shortly what the excuse is. That just makes me very angry. There have been no arrests made in relation to the tragedy, but police are asking anyone who saw something involving a young child on the afternoon of June 7th to get in touch. Now, let me put this out there. Anybody that lives in Glenelg or was visiting Glenelg in Adelaide, South Australia on June the 7th, if you saw this little boy with that person on the 7th of June, Wednesday, please contact Crime Stoppers. Don't just not say anything. Please contact Crime Stoppers. Doesn't matter if you think it's not worth ringing over, please ring them. There needs to be justice for this little boy. And who knows, you could hold the most important information. This little boy needs somebody to stand up and be his hero. He deserves that. Because this babysitter apparently is not going to own up to anything. I will digress at this point. Locals are stunned by what happened and shared their condolences with the family. So let's go on to what the babysitter came out and said happened. Okay, a person of interest in the death of Adelaide baby Ronan Davies has spoken out as police continue their investigations. The babysitter of Adelaide baby Ronan Davies, who tragically lost or passed away after suffering catastrophic, I'll let that sit for a minute, catastrophic internal injuries and head injuries, says he didn't hurt the boy, insisting the toddler fell in an accident. That's one good accident. Police have considered a man believed to be the friend of the 17-month-old father a person of interest after little Ronan passed away not long after being in his care. The heavily tattooed friend, who is yet to be formally named, claimed the toddler had slipped out of his pram. Let's let that sit for a moment. This 17-month-old boy, sorry guys, just going to turn this music down a bit. This 17-month-old boy, he claims, just slipped out of his pram. Was he slipped out of it on the 3rd floor balcony? There is no way in a million years this child suffered internal injuries and head injuries just slipping out of his pram at 17 months old. That is absolutely ridiculous. And I would like to say this to the so-called babysitter. If you honestly believe people are going to believe that, you are a very sad person. Why don't you, seeing you're such a big man, not stand up and do the right thing by this little boy and his parents and tell the truth? For once in your life, be a man and tell the truth and face your consequences. It's not like you are in America where life is life, unfortunately. Sadly, you'll do 15 to 20 years here. Little Ronan didn't even get that. He got 17 months. You will still have a life after you have done your time, unfortunately. So why don't you, for once in your life, I'm guessing, own up to what you have done. Don't put these parents through a court case. Don't put them through a trial. Give Ronan justice and be a man. I digress. So when I left him to take him to my ex-girlfriend's place, which I got a fair idea now of what was going on. He slipped out of the pram and I picked him up and comforted him. Sure he did. Because if he had catastrophic internal injuries as well as head injuries, are you going to try and convince all of us that this child showed no signs of being hurt? None whatsoever. I'm waiting. There's no way in a million years this child slipped out of the pram, first of all. And second of all, after that, this child was not being comforted by you in any way, shape, or form. This child was either in extreme pain or was unconscious straight away. And you know it. And you took him back to his parents. You couldn't even ring an ambulance. You couldn't do anything for this child. Sorry, guys. The reporter then confronted him about the fact police didn't believe his claims, to which he responded, well, that's the truth. He wouldn't know truth if he fell over it. I doubt he's ever told the truth in his life. But that's just my opinion, by the way. Paramedics rushed Ronan to Adelaide Women's and Children's Hospital in an unconscious and critical condition at about 6 p.m. on Wednesday, June 7th. I have no doubt after what happened, after you assaulted him, that he was unconscious. And you thought, oh, I'll just take him home and they'll think he's asleep. Then I'll think something happened while he was asleep. Sure. The toddler had suffered critical head injuries and other serious internal injuries, according to police. His injuries were not survivable, and Ronan passed away 2 days later. Detective Inspector Mark McEachran revealed that Ronan was being babysat by people known to his parents in the days leading up to the suspected assault at an address on Ferguson Street in Glenelg, North Adelaide, South Australia. I have never felt sick reading something as what this made me feel when I read this. How could you do that to anybody's child? How could you just take him back to his parents and make like he was sleeping? How could you not call an ambulance? How could you not help this boy in any way, shape, or form? Oh, but wait. You assaulted the boy. You seriously injured this boy. Or should I say you passed him over? Did it make you feel big? Hitting a 17-month-old boy who could not defend himself? Wow. You won't like what we all think of you. I have no doubt many more feel like I feel. This little boy did not deserve that. His parents didn't deserve that. I pray to God that if you did this, in my opinion, that you know what it's like to be beaten. Because I feel you deserve that. And nobody helped you. Unfortunately, you're an adult that can help himself. This child couldn't. And you make me sick. I hope that each and every one of you can keep these parents in your prayers, please, and light a candle for little Ronan. And let's pray to God he gets justice, because he deserves justice. So does his parents. Not that it's going to make them feel any better or bring back their child, but this person does not need to be walking our streets. But as I explained, he won't get life here because it doesn't exist. This is when I wish we had American laws, or sentencings, I should say. Unfortunately, we don't. This makes me absolutely angry, and it hurts my heart. And it makes you think we have all at some point entrusted others to babysit our children. It does make you think twice now, in this day and age, sadly. Like I said, not one I wanted to cover, but I felt it necessary. Unfortunately, there are evil people like this out there who can't control themselves. Like I said, I have an idea of what happened, considering he brought up the ex-girlfriend. In my opinion, he was babysitting this child to get a foot in the door with the ex-girlfriend. This is only speculation and my opinion. And when that failed, unfortunately, little Ronan paid the price. It's heartbreaking, absolutely heartbreaking. This one brought me to tears, guys, when I first read this. It does hurt to think there's that evil in the world. Like I said, please light a candle for little Ronan and for his parents. Keep them in your prayers and pray that this so-called person just owned up to what he done, and that his parents don't have to go through a trial and hear what happened to their little boy. That's all I pray for. But unfortunately, he can't even own up to what he did. Thank you all once again for your support to my new subscribers, And if this is your first time here, my name is Lisa. This is Crimes Under Investigation. I live in Australia, and I will be covering cases from anywhere, including some of the big cases. I will be covering Brian Koberger on a live over the weekend. I hope you all join me. Remember to all be kind to each other, to be kind to yourselves, especially. To not put each other down. Remember, you're all beautiful, inside and out. It's not just looks that make you beautiful. It's who you are. I love each and every one of you, and I send you all loving light. Until I see you all next time, thanks guys for joining me. I'm sorry this is such a hard one. Love you all. Take care. Bye guys.